Today, we are branching out to cover the entire town of Quahog, because the residents of this town have a long history of pushing the boundaries of common sense, leading to some truly bizarre and downright uncomfortable storylines.
What the is wrong with you?
This is all I can do, Lois. I'm abstinent.
That is it. I am gonna have regular with you whether you like it or not.
In today's video, we are counting down the most randomly sus moments in Family Guy. Let's start the show. Kicking off our list is Season 5, Episode 8, Barely Legal. Have you ever felt so desperate for a prom date that you'd end up holding your own family dog hostage in a hotel room? Well, Meg Griffin crosses that exact bizarre and highly illegal boundary when a simple pity date turns into a full-blown romantic obsession. The madness kicks off when Meg comes home absolutely inconsolable because she can't find a date for her junior prom.
Hi, Jimmy. I heard you didn't have a date to the dance, and I was wondering if you'd like to go with me.
She reveals that even her backup date rejected her, going so far as to kill his own brother just to get out of taking her.
Oh, I'm sure you'll find someone to go with you.
No, I won't! I'm so fat and gross!
Oh.
Threatening to hurt herself, Meg garners enough sympathy from Brian that he reluctantly agrees to be her date for the dance.
What if I drove you and walked in with you or whatever?
Brian, will you go with me?
Are you gonna kill yourself if I don't?
Yeah!
However, once they arrive at the event, Brian realizes the only way he can get through the night is by heavily numbing himself with booze.
Brian, can I ask you something? Are you drinking so much because you don't want to be here?
But when Meg's ultimate bully, Connie D'Amico, starts picking on her, a drunken Brian steps up and absolutely roasts Connie.
You're popular because you developed early and started giving when you were 12, but now you can't stand to look at yourself in the mirror because all you see is a
sending her running off in tears. An overly appreciative Meg shares a hug and a surprisingly passionate kiss with Brian, complete with a little too much tongue. The next morning, Brian tries to play off the kiss as a drunken mistake, but Meg has already spiraled into peak sus territory.
But no, look, I got stuff to do today, all right? Sorry.
Well, we should hook up anyway. I'll bug you later.
She texts him constantly, introduces him to her friends at the mall as her new boyfriend,
Brian's the first serious boyfriend I've ever had.
and even bakes him a peace-offering pie that contains a very special, deeply disturbing ingredient, her own hair.
Do you feel me, Brian? Do you feel me inside of you?
Realizing things have gotten entirely out of hand, Brian goes upstairs to talk some sense into her, only to stumble upon a terrifying, obsessive shrine dedicated entirely to him in her bedroom.
I made that for you, Brian.
Meg!
Desperate to get the message across, Brian even brings in the headmaster of the New York School for the Hard of Hearing to bluntly tell Meg that they are not a couple.
I won't be ignored, Brian.
I like your...
Not willing to take no for an answer, Meg crosses the ultimate line. She knocks Brian out cold and drags him to a hotel room.
Is it bad if I saw Meg tie up Brian last night, put him in the trunk of his car, and then drive away?
What? Chris, why didn't you say anything?
Tying him to a chair for what she ominously calls a night of fun.
Listen, Meg, I'm not gonna lie to you here. I'm a little uncomfortable.
Oh, just relax.
Thankfully, before any permanent psychological damage or serious crimes can be committed, Peter and the newly deputized Quahog police force kick down the door and rescue the dog.
Meg, you need to let Brian go.
But Mom, I love him!
Surprisingly, it's Quagmire who manages to talk some sense into Meg, having an earnest heart-to-heart and explaining that she has her whole life ahead of her and shouldn't rush into crazy romantic relationships.
Thanks, Mr. Quagmire.
Oh, you don't have to thank me. Now get on out of here, you little scamp.
While she eventually listens to reason, kidnapping and assaulting your family pet definitely earns Meg a top spot for sus behavior. Up next is Season 10, Episode 14, Be Careful What You Fish For. Have you ever noticed massive, blaring red flags in a person but completely ignored them just because you thought they were incredibly attractive? Well, Brian Griffin proves he is the ultimate sus degenerate when he discovers a literal house of horrors at Stewie's daycare, but completely turns a blind eye for a chance at a date. The madness begins when Brian picks up a very dirty Stewie from his home daycare. Stewie is completely covered in paint, which is suspicious enough. But then he casually drops a massive bombshell. He asks Brian if it is completely normal that their teacher literally tied all the children to the sink while she went out to return a birthday present.
Teacher sounds really irresponsible.
She is. Adults are stupid. The world would be so much better if it were run by babies.
Realizing this is a huge red flag and severe child endangerment, Brian decides to step in and investigate the daycare the very next morning.
This is awful. Where's your teacher? Probably out back.
However, when he marches in ready to give the teacher a piece of his mind, he makes a shocking discovery. The teacher, Miss Emily, is incredibly attractive.
Oh yeah! I should probably go back in there, see how everyone's doing, I guess.
Ah, they're fine. In fact, I see Stewie reading a book.
This is where Brian completely crosses the line into peak sus territory. Instead of reporting the horrifying conditions, all reason goes out the window, and Brian instantly starts flirting with her.
Hey, do you think maybe you'd want to hang out sometime?
What, you mean like a movie or something?
Yeah, or maybe lunch?
Things escalate to a deeply disturbing level when Stewie returns home with his arm completely dislocated.
And she said I shouldn't raise my voice and pulled me really hard into the other room and my arm came out of its socket.
Revealing that Miss Emily did it when he demanded a real lunch. Despite a 1-year-old having his arm hanging out of its socket, Brian refuses to help or tell Lois because he just landed a date with the abusive teacher.
And what am I supposed to do about my arm?
He literally pops Stewie's arm back into place and moves on with his day.
I'm not saying I like pain, but I'm not saying I don't like it either.
However, Brian's twisted priorities catch up with him when he arrives to pick up Miss Emily for their date. He is completely blindsided when he knocks on her door and discovers she already has a boyfriend named Devin.
Who was that?
That's my boyfriend Devin. Are you ready for lunch?
Realizing that she is no longer a dating option, Brian's non-existent moral compass suddenly reactivates. It is only after he gets rejected that he finally decides to call the police on her.
Come on, let's go home.
As she is being taken away by the cops in handcuffs, Brian has the absolute audacity to lecture her, claiming there is a special place in hell for people who treat kids like that. The fact that Brian was completely willing to excuse child abuse just for a chance to hook up makes this one of his absolute most randomly sus moments.
I guess everything worked out for everybody.
Up next is Season 10, Episode 10, Quagmire and Meg. Have you ever had a creepy neighbor wait patiently for the absolute exact second you became a legal adult to make their move? Well, Glenn Quagmire does exactly that, crossing the ultimate line with his best friend's daughter in one of the most uncomfortably sus episodes of the entire series. The madness kicks off on Meg's surprise 18th birthday. Naturally, nobody outside of the family actually shows up, and Peter even had to be paid just to attend.
I thought you were gonna pay the kids from school to show up. I gave you $300.
Why do you think Dad's here?
Hey, Meg, happy birthday.
But one unexpected guest does arrive, Quagmire. Knowing exactly what this milestone means, Quagmire wastes zero time inching his pinky uncomfortably close to Meg and telling impressive piloting stories to woo her, thoroughly creeping out Peter and Brian in the process.
Yeah, look at Quagmire hitting on that skank. You know he's gonna close the deal.
Peter, that skank is your daughter.
Oh my God, you're right.
Later that night, Quagmire slides into Meg's DMs, texting her like a giddy teenager until she agrees to go on a date with him.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God!
Ah, it's too much, too much.
While Stewie tries to threaten Quagmire to stay away from my sis, Lois bizarrely pushes Meg to go on the date, assuming it's just a phase that won't lead anywhere.
Lois, you out of your mind? We can't let Quagmire take Meg out on a date. That guy'll bang anything.
The date goes off without a hitch, with Quagmire using his decades of experience to completely charm Meg, ending the night with a kiss.
Oh, God, Peter! Scared the hell out of me. What are you doing here?
I think you know. Did you have with my daughter?
What?
Peter is furious and confronts Quagmire, begging his best friend to back off.
No, I won't talk to her, and I want you to stay the hell away from her.
But Quagmire is a predator with a mission, bluntly telling Peter that it's like asking a fish not to swim, and horrifyingly declaring, "She's legal, and I'm going in."
We'll see about that. I ain't afraid to stand up to friends. Just ask Spartacus.
Things escalate to peak sus territory when Peter learns Quagmire is taking Meg away for the weekend to his secret getaway in the woods.
Peter, Quagmire has a name for that cabin. He calls it his cabin.
A place he disgustingly refers to as the Stuff It In cabin. This finally wakes Lois up to the horrifying reality of the situation, and the parents race up to the woods just in time.
Do you hear that?
I don't hear anything.
I know. Isn't it bliss?
Peter, let's go!
Thanks for the ice cream, Glenn.
Before Quagmire can fully take advantage of the situation during their bizarre underwear ice cream party, Peter literally kicks the door down to stop him. They drag Meg home, and Lois delivers a terrifying ultimatum. If Quagmire ever touches her daughter again, she will cut off his manhood and feed it to Brian.
If you ever touch my daughter again, I will cut your thing off and feed it to Brian.
Okay.
The fact that Quagmire genuinely pursued his best friend's teenage daughter the absolute second she turned 18 makes this one of his most predatory and randomly sus moments ever. Wrapping up our countdown is Season 2, Episode 12, Love Thy Trophy. Have you ever wanted an expensive designer item so badly that you were willing to pretend your own baby brother was a crack-addicted infant just to earn some extra cash? Meg sinks to absolute peak sus levels of greed when she pulls a massive, highly illegal scam on her diner customers. It all kicks off when Meg desperately wants to buy a wildly expensive Prada bag.
Daddy, if you really love me, you buy me a Prada bag. 100.
You wish I loved you that much.
Realizing she needs money fast, she tries to get a job as a waitress at a local diner called Flappy's.
I squandered my munitions budget on that insipid Rugrats video.
She initially gets turned away for having absolutely zero experience, but her luck instantly changes when the owner accidentally mistakes Stewie for her own baby.
What do you care?
Well, I can't send an unwed teenage mother out on the street without a job.
Instead of correcting him, Meg leans right into the lie and claims to be a struggling teen mom, which immediately lands her the job.
Here you go, hon, from Flappy himself.
Meg quickly realizes that playing the role of an unwed teenage mother earns her way bigger sympathy tips from her tables. It initially seems like a win-win situation since Meg is raking in the cash and Stewie gets to eat free pancakes all day long.
Welcome to Flappy's. Why don't you have a seat next to my little baby whose deadbeat dad doesn't pay child support?
However, Meg takes the scam way too far into wildly unhinged territory when she starts telling everyone that her baby's deadbeat dad doesn't pay child support and that Stewie is actually addicted to crack.
Well, here's your check. God bless.
This insane lie eventually catches the attention of a social worker, who swings by the Griffin house to rescue the baby, removing Stewie from their care and placing him into a foster home.
Honey, would you like some pancakes?
Oh, yes, God, yes, take me!
Completely unaware of the absolute chaos she just caused, Meg happily returns home flaunting her brand new Prada bag. When her parents ask how she afforded it, she bluntly admits to using Stewie to scam customers for sympathy tips.
It's easy when you're the unwed teenage mother of a crack-addicted baby.
The Griffins attempt to sneak Stewie out of the foster home, but their terrible rescue mission inadvertently starts a massive toddler prison riot. Defeated, the family tries to devise a new plan, but the foster mom happens to spot Meg's expensive Prada bag and casually agrees to trade Stewie back to them in exchange for the purse.
Wait,
Is that a real Prada bag?
It is genuinely wild that Meg's scam resulted in her baby brother being taken away by Child Protective Services, ultimately proving that the value of a baby in Quahog is apparently exactly the same as a designer bag.